You're looking at one of the tiny fraction of people who have run in both the Democratic and Republican parties, thus the only one with actual knowledge of what each party is like and how they've changed over the past 2 decades. And I can tell you I've seen some huge changes, and I know which party represents America and its future. In 2000, my midlife crisis at the age of 50 was to run for U.S. Congress. My first attempt at political office after being a global negotiator and entrepreneur for decades. That story is in Better Times Ahead, April Fool. I happen to live in a district where the GOP Republican incumbent usually won 60% of the vote due to gerrymandering, designing weird districts that fit the Congress representative, not the public. So I decided to run in the primary against the most powerful politician of his time, Tom DeLay. I knew that winning as a Democrat in that district was really impossible. So my theory was running the primary with its much lower turnout. If enough independents crossed over, I could win. If I'd had money, might have done that. My first mistake, though, thinking that being more moderate was the way to win a primary, and I came to realize that only the more extreme candidate wins. Stay with me on this. So I saw a party of almost only white people voting for the candidate who was right of right. But even in those days, Tom DeLay was one of 4 of us running for Congress in 2006. I hadn't given up on getting rid of him yet, and we all ended up having a debate in front of the Muslim community group in Houston. Imagine that today. I only thought the party was conservative then, but since it has gone further into radical territory due to the increasing extreme candidate winning in gerrymandered districts that have made the November vote pointless for at least one party. The trend accumulated in the 2016 electoral vote election of an open bigot for president who did not get the majority vote and hated all minorities, beginning with his announcement that all Mexicans were either rapists or criminals, and that was about it. Since then, Trump gone on to attack not only Muslims, but Hispanics, black football players, African countries, the FBI, the CIA, Gold Star families that have lost people in our military conflicts, and his party pretty much applauded like seals. In 2014, I switched gears and ran for the first time in the Democratic primary for U.S. Senate in Texas. It was a different planet from the Republican Party. At party events, I saw people of all colors and religions, not just one, gay or straight, mixed with Jews, Muslims, Christians, and people who had no particular religious preference at all. But we were all on the same page in wanting equal pay, equal rights, equal justice for the little guy, along with higher wages, better education, better environment, better infrastructure, and better relations with our world allies. What's wrong with that? I saw a Democratic Party that really looks like what America looks like, and still does. People of all colors and religions, all bound by a common idea of freedom, equality, mutual respect, and justice. Democrats believe in science and want to make the world a better place for the future generations, not leaving our kids with a wrecked hothouse due to runaway greenhouse gases we didn't cut, and senseless tariffs enacted by an imperial weather-vane president with no values or morals, and that is what led to the Great Depression, tariffs. Today in Texas, we have Republicans waging war on transgenders, the latest minority they pick on since it's no longer politically correct to pick on Hispanics and the blacks and anybody else. At the same time, they're cutting the funding that we need for education to win in a high-tech global economy. Our Attorney General is all getting taxpayer paid for Jesus shots, and he looks like a total idiot. Our governor makes wars on transgenders while ignoring the real issues like flooding and hardening our coast for the next hurricane event so we don't lose even more billions in property. Our lieutenant governor is a religious Hitler with a fake name and a white supremacist elevated beyond his level of competence by a party that loves its version of religious extremism interfering in people's lives, not much different than ISIS. ISIS might kill you with a bullet. The Republican Party is going to kill you by not giving you any health care even when the federal government is paying 100%. That's their idea of pro-life. Right now, America has over 3 million high-tech jobs open that Americans don't have the skills to fill, but foreigners do. We're not providing the training to get our people into those skills, and this government is not going to do a thing for that, while the Europeans are providing the education and the Asians to go into the high-tech world. So they get the jobs instead of ours because we're doing nothing. The future is clear, and only one party represents the America that has class instead of crass. That is the Democratic Party that really, truly represents America's future and what America looks like. Diversity and immigration have provided America its strength all these years. Whites are getting older, they're getting fewer. We need to mine all the talent of all our people, regardless of their skin tone and sex. It's about skills, not color, that's going to make us a power in the future. There was a time when the Republican Party had moderates and did progressive things, like Richard Nixon signed the Environmental Protection Act, believe it or not. Probably the only thing he ever did that I agreed with. And to this day, we appreciate that. Now the Republican Party operates as a Russian agent in conjunction with Fox News, promoting phony conspiracy theories instead of being alarmed that we have a sitting president who collaborated with a hostile power, foreign power, Russia, to defeat an American opponent. That's the classical definition of treason. And it's a breach of the oath of office of President of the United States, who is supposed to protect us from foreign powers, not collude with them for partisan political gain. The Republican Party has turned it into a debased party under Trump, with alleged religious leaders back and a president who has cheated on every wife, demeans and respects everyone except Mr. Putin, and now they're acting as Russian agents attempting to discredit our own FBI and CIA, the two agencies that Putin and Russia fear the most. Trump is helping to damage. Trump basically is Putin's useful idiot. Trump is actively destroying our values and is doing immense damage to our future, with the tariff increases being the exact act that helped bring about the Great Depression of the 30s. The only value we have now, the only way to save America now, is to flip the Congress to the Democratic Party in 2018. To be a check on the white supremacist, ignorant president and amoral party that is wrecking a diverse America. I invite you to join me on Global American Values on Facebook and help spread the word for our future as an America that stands for true diversity and American values, and not the ignorant, moronic, racist that we ended up with as president and a party supporting that. I'm Michael Fjetland, and I approve this message. I hope you do too. Thank you, and spread the word.